Hello, Seduce Me fans. Welcome to Seduce Me, the extra episodes. This one, of course, is for Erik called My Princess. So, let's start. This, of course, follows Seduce Me 1. Okay, so obviously our name is commonly known as Twinkle. Okay. When you're dating someone, you expect surprises, depending on who you're dating. The surprises can range from a new habit they may have or something that may change how you see them. When it comes to dating a demon, the possibilities become endless. That's right, I was in love with a demon. The many surprises he showed me included him being an incubus, him having tentacle powers, and him being an ex-noble from a large expanding kingdom. I didn't think anything could take the cake on top of those things. I was wrong. I found myself dressed to the nines, sitting in my fiancé's luxury car as we drove into the city of Chicago. I didn't wear fancy clothes often, so feeling the lavish fabrics of my gown I was wearing against my skin was almost uncomfortable. Also, the car... I could be mistaken, but is this the same car that originally we had? So I had to admit, when I saw myself in the mirror, I was floored at how I looked. I was in a beautifully designed red and black dress with matching heels and jeweled accessories. I still would never know how Erik was able to obtain it at all, but he gifted the gown, the shoes and the jewellery to me with a simple smile. A part of me knew that he made the dress by hand. He owned a custom suit shop and had access to the finest fabrics in the city. His skill wasn't limited to suits, however. He could make anything that was deemed as formal wear. As for shoes and jewelry, I couldn't figure out and had decided to let it go. The drive in the city became one filled with curiosity. Why did I have to be dressed up? Where exactly were we going? Erik?
Yes, my princess?
I'm never gonna get over it. Like, the exterior of the car is so big, and then you've got your character's sprite, which is so tiny. Where are we going? A chuckle escaped Erik's lips as he continued to drive into the night, also loving the gloves.
I told you, it's a surprise.
Okay, hold on then, Erik. Let me also turn down the background music so you can hear Erik better. Is it me, or does the background music seem to be louder than him? A surprise that requires me to dress up like I'm going to a prom.
Not a prom, exactly.
Where are we going? Erik? Erik's smile grew as he lowered a hand from the wheel and took a gentle hold of mine, bringing it to his lips and laying a butterfly kiss over it. I hope you're watching the road.
I promise you will enjoy yourself. You have my word.
Okay. I stared at Erik, a small blush adorning my face as he gentle words and kiss giving up at last. I nodded and simply let him guide us further into the heart of the city. Chicago was a beautiful city, especially at night. The lights that illuminated the streets and buildings were a grand sight to behold, and the lively aura of the night's energy that filled every alley and sideway was simply enchanting. You could take me out of Chicago, but you'd never take the love of Chicago out of me. To my surprise, the traffic towards the destination were almost non-existent. We're in the richest part of Chicago, and at last we arrived at our destination, one that took me completely off guard. Are we going to a palace? The outside looked like a regular business building. At the very top of the tower was a large sign that said "The Gateway" in bright yellow colours. Something about it stood out, somehow, which made me curious. What was in store in this place? Erik led me out of the car, opening my door for me and escorting me out with a gentle hand. As he closed the door behind me, a man dressed in a bellboy suit rushed up to Erik and held out his hand. Erik took his hands into his tuxedo pocket and finally took out a small white envelope, passing it and his car keys to the bellboy. The bellboy took the items and quickly rushed to the driver's side of the car, driving it off like a valet. I watched the car head into a nearby parking lot as I unconsciously took Erik's arms. As I turned back to him, I could tell that I was in for more surprises. He handed me a mask and silently instructed me to put it on. As we walked up the steps to the door, it fit like a glove. Why am I getting nervous? Is this like a masquerade ball or something? What are we doing in here? I'm kind of nervous. What's going on? A pair of bellboys opened the doors for Erik and me, revealing a lavish lobby with a single large pedestal platform in the middle of the room. Stepping up to it, we were stopped by a large woman in a dressed suit.
Invitation?
Hi? I looked at Erik, watching him take out a gold slip of paper from his pocket and passed it to the woman. The guard looked over the parchment before nodding to Erik and stepping away from our path to the pedestal. Where on the earth were we going? I remained silent still as we stepped up to the platform and settled in the middle of it. Erik guided us to stop and stay still in place. Erik nodded to the guard, who simply nodded back and waved her hand in the air. As she did, the pedestal beneath us suddenly shifted and began to rise into the air. Whoa! I gripped Erik tightly as the platform beneath us ascended through the building. All around us were sights of pictures and diamond chandeliers. Whatever this was, I could tell that this was by no means a regular event. When we reached the top floor, or what I assumed to be the top floor, we were greeted by a pair of women in waitress suits, bowing to us in respect. As the bird tail feathers and pure black eyes presented themselves to me, I knew this was a demon party. I hope you know what you're doing. I really do. I hope they don't eat humans, Erik. This is weird, even for you. Okay. The doors opened to a large ballroom, one that definitely didn't seem to fit the inside of the suite room. All around were couples and groups, mingling and dancing elegantly to sounds of Victorian-style orchestra music. I was astonished. Even as I was led in by Erik, everyone was dressed in modern formal wear with a range of dresses and tuxedos. It was almost dizzying how much the aged music clashed with the modern fashion of the patrons. Yet I couldn't turn my eyes away from the sight of the guests. Wow.
Welcome to a small taste of the demon world, my princess.
Erik, are you sure you thought this through? 'Cause why am I worrying? Then again, you'd kick anybody's butt if they try to do anything. The guests were all demons, some with horns, some with tails, and the rest were an assortment of different looks. It was a complement of people, and I felt a bit out of place as someone who looked obviously human. As we stepped further into space, a voice chirped out.
Erik, my boy, come fly over here, will you?
Hi? I looked over to see a birdman with a polished tuxedo wave us over with a very handsome gentleman with mouse ears on his arm. Despite the nerves running through my system, Erik and I walked over. As Erik bowed his head, I quickly curtsied. For some reason, the way the birdman carried himself made him seem like a prince. I was in awe of his gorgeous tail feathers with beak and ascended by the lavish suit he wore.
Connor, you look splendid. I assume you approve of your tuxedo?
Connor? His name is Connor? I wouldn't have thought that his name would be Connor.
Approve? I absolutely love it! Ricardo here won't let go of me because of it.
I looked over the mouse man, who I assumed to be Ricardo, as he smiled coldly and hugged Connor's arm tightly, noting the agreement of Connor's words. I smiled a bit as Erik laughed.
Very good. Well, thank you for inviting us to your anniversary celebration. It is an honor to be in such company.
Nonsense! Thank you for attending! As the son of the most powerful demon in the abyssal planes, it's only proper to invite you regardless. My only regret is not inviting your brothers. I must seem so rude.
Erik waved his hand dismissively.
Think nothing of it. We actually denounced our titles when we came to this world.
You don't say? Well, good on you! You do such fabulous work as a designer here. It's no wonder that your suit shop is unmatched.
Connor finally turned his head to me and caught in curiosity. I felt a bit small under his gaze, but smiled respectively back.
And who might this lovely lady be? A human?
Erik nodded and lifted my hand to his lips, kissing her respectively before our conversation partners.
This is my wonderful princess. I asked her to accompany me tonight to show her how elegant a demon ball can be.
My head, I'd be going, great, demons, right, I hope these guys don't mind humans and are not like the other demons you've been telling us about. I mean, considering the fact that the only other confrontation we've had with other demons was Diana in Seduce Me, and we all know how that went.
How marvelous! I rarely get to meet humans. It is an absolute delight to meet you.
They're so well-mannered. Connor held out his hand towards me, making me place my hand in it out of manners. Instead of kissing my hand, he lifted it to his beak and very gently nipped a couple times at the back of it, making me giggle a bit. It's a pleasure to meet you, too. Connor released my hand and smiled at me before looking back at Erik.
Well, Erik, Princess, it's been an absolute pleasure to meet you. Please enjoy the ball. Dance and eat as much as you like.
Wait, does he actually think that we're called Princess? We're not called... Never mind.
We shall. Thank you.
With that, Erik and I walked away from Connor and Ricardo, both of whom were waving at us before trying to find new conversation partners. So this is the Demon Ball.
Yes, Princess. You've been curious about what life was like for me in the demon world, yes?
I nodded. I was indeed curious about Erik's life in the demon world, but I didn't expect him to give me an experience. This was completely out of the blue. Erik gestured to the room where the couples on the dance floor were waltzing in sync. It was mesmerizing.
Well, this is a perfect representation of how demon royals celebrated. We had elegant balls filled with dancing and food, and they would only end when the sun came up.
Oh, Erik. Really, I thought the demon world was like the Dark Age. Main character. Why did you even think that? Well, fair enough, I guess. You can be kind of stereotypical with that. It was like the Dark Ages. It seemed like a fairy tale ball, not really medieval. Erik chuckled and walked with me around the dance floor, continuing his explanation.
The demon world may be stuck in the Dark Ages, but we do take inspiration from the human world. Your fairy tales inspired our celebrations.
Oh, good to know. Thank goodness we had fairy tales and not like little horror tales or anything where we just tell stories about monsters and things. Thank goodness we have good stories. I couldn't stop staring at the dancers and the demons in the room. There were so many people dressed up like royalty that I felt almost underdressed. There were some glances my way, none with ill intent. At least I hope not. It was probably natural since I was human in a room full of demons. Shyly, Erik led me onto the dance floor and began to waltz with me to the music. We remained inside the crowd, dancing to our own beat, and swaying as the rest of the dancers kept in time and step with the synchronized dancing. So instead of getting phones and computers, you got balls and dresses?
You are correct. The demon world has no need for computers or phones, but new traditions of celebration are always welcomed.
No raves or clubs? No DJs?
Too human for our tastes.
Oh. Well, it was worth suggesting, no. No light shows or DJs? I knew where it was coming.
That would require electricity, my princess, which we don't care to use. To us, it's a waste of energy.
I pierced my lips at Erik as he slowly began to ease us into the crowd. I barely noticed the dancers moving aside and stopping their dances to stare at us as I locked eyes with Erik, continuing the conversation. Oh, jeez. Do demons have balls often?
Unfortunately, no. Hosting celebrations take a large amount of resources, so we save balls for only the most grand of occasions.
All the while, everybody stopped to stare at these two. And they're still just dancing around, talking. Oh gosh. Like birthdays?
Demons don't celebrate birthdays, princess. However, we celebrate the peaceful uniting of kingdoms or the crowning of a new ruler.
Okay, so kind of like a newborn baby. I became fascinated even as Erik began to twirl me around and add elaboration steps into the dance between us. We both focused on each other as we let the world around us fade into a blurry outline of people and decor. That would explain these guys being blurry.
However, the human world has provided demons here the means to celebrate many more things.
And what would that be? Like Connor's anniversary? Erik nodded and dipped me for a moment, staring deep into my eyes.
Exactly.
Hi. I held on to Erik, mesmerized in his lovely purple eyes. I squeezed his hand gently and caused him to lift me back up and hold me close in a loving embrace.
And one day, I would love to hold an elegant ball for our union.
Erik. My face began to glow, a soft rosy red as I smiled up at my prince. I loved him with every ounce of my being, and a fairy tale wedding ball seemed like a perfect way to celebrate. I stretched up on my toes and kissed Erik ever so gently before pulling away with a giggle. I would love that. Erik stared at me in surprise for a moment before chuckling and nestling his head against mine, a playful but loving smirk against his lips.
My beautiful princess, I am yours forever.
And I am yours, my Prince Charming. And the night became one of fairy tale dancing and a seemingly happily ever after for me and my demon prince. And that, of course, there was Erik's episode, my princess. So there is a couple more coming, and of course I will cover them when they become available. As for Seduce Me 2, I will be getting that up either today or tomorrow. Unfortunately, I do apologize for the delay that has been for the other games and stuff. A lot of stuff has been going on with me personally, and I can't talk about it at the moment, but I will at some point. And just thank you everybody who's been so patient and so supportive. And yeah, you guys are just so awesome. I really can't thank you enough. There'll be a link below in the description to where you can get Seduce Me 2, and all the other wonderful games created by Michaela Laws and the team, and so much more. Anyway, bye guys, see you in the next episode. Bye! Thanks for watching.